Hello there, welcome to a new game. Here we have like new opening that I haven't seen before, so I decide to respond with the usual movement that I would normally do. Um, and he proceeds to open his bishops. I found this to be an interesting opening. At the very least, I haven't seen it before. Probably, I said it's a book move, so possibly it's a. Well, I see that it has a name. Yeah, I was pretty sure it should have a name. Then I continue with my development. He seems to attempt to mirror the same thing he did here. I'm not sure exactly where he's going with it. I think that maybe he wants to probably threaten my rooks in case my pawns will move or something like that. Or I move my bishops and then he has free way to take the rook if I don't move the horse. So I'll just keep that in mind. Um, I decided to preemptively move this pawn here for when he's gonna develop his horses. Um, then I already have this side protected. And since he didn't develop his pawns here, I'm thinking about moving up mine. I'm not sure exactly this one for what purpose it's intended. It allows me to get out my queen and buy a move, maybe just to develop this further. But anyway, I continue with my direction towards the castle. Um, he seems to also develop and open up the way for his queen. I do the castle here. He moves on to free his rook, I suppose, and do his own castle. So here I'm quite unclear exactly how I want to go about it. So I'm thinking about just pinning the queen here with the bishop and allowing my own piece to be developed from its initial position. Obviously, it can be easily countered with this move. Um, so I just decide to take the horse and be aggressive. He takes the bishop, but he had to move the queen. And then I'm thinking to start developing on this side of the board as well, since I've cleared the horse on their side, and try and see what can I do. Here, honestly, I wanted to come in this position because then I would be able to move into this position then and force a fork if the queen wouldn't be here. But that's obviously wishful thinking. He already moves here to placate my move with a horse. Um, all right, I see that this is considered an accuracy. Honestly, I knew it as well because it's easily countered by this move, uh, also this move. This one probably would be the least wise. But anyway, I hope to make the king move for a brief chance, and if he moves the king, then he couldn't castle. And at the very best, I would just move either here and take this pawn if he leaves with the queen, or my honest expectation would have been for him to move here with the pawn. Then I moved here with the queen, and then I have a straight shot for this unprotected pawn right here. Um, Surely he could probably move the horse here afterwards to protect it, or just move it forwards, but still. I'm curious what you would consider to be the best. I considered having this move here. Let me explore a bit what would have been um, computer's idea. Um, okay, so it's a bit too far to see an immediate result from it. I moved here. I see he moves his horse here to protect the king, which is good, but he also pins the horse. And I'm thinking, how can I make the best of this situation? I'm thinking maybe moving the horse here and then try and do what the computer was saying. But then I thought, maybe I should just move this one here and then get the horse here to threaten the queen. So she's forced to move the queen. If he tries to take the horse, then I take the bishop. So it's protected, and then while I'm in this position, I'm also threatening the rook, and he'll be forced to castle. Um, or move the rook, and if he castles, then the king is going to be here, and I just need to find a good combination with the horse to just swing that way and checkmate him. He proceeds to castle ahead. Um, so I just moved the horse here to threaten the queen. I thought he's just going to move the queen, but instead he's taking the move. So I'm taking it. It's a position that has advantages to me. Um, he manages to find a way to block my queen here. So in response to that, I'm thinking that maybe the best option for me, yeah, and the game seems to think it's also the best option, is to trap the horse. He moves the queen to block my queen. I take it because that was the best option for me, honestly. He takes with the horse, so that position with the pawn here is it's not a bad move. I just can't exploit it anymore. So now I'm left thinking, okay, so we only traded pieces up so far. We have the king in a pretty similar position, just mine is better defended than his. I didn't activate my rook, he didn't activate his rook. But I feel like I have more options than him due to how the table is set. But still, I didn't know exactly how to go about it. I was thinking here at some point to move the horse here and then have this one and do the exchange basically because he would take with the pawn. Then if I take it, then he's free with the bishop or the horse. So with the horse taking here, he would still win the exchange. So I'm thinking about moving the pawn here. And with this, I'll be able to do this exchange and basically win it. And he moves the pawn here, which kind of surprised me. Honestly, what would have been the best move here? To threaten this wing, so I can't go here because he would block it from here. Yeah, that's an interesting move. So here I actually consider what would be the best move. If I take the pawn, I'm in a pretty bad position from three sides, actually. So it would be very bad for me to take it. So I just go forward with the plan that I had before, just one step faster. Um, he decides to take the pawn, which indeed I think it was a mistake. Best move would be to move here. Yeah, I suppose, because then I would just take this, he takes this, and it's 1 for 1. Um, but he takes it, so I decide. I was thinking like, should I go from the right side or left side? And I thought that left side is better because on this side I have like pretty powerful line to defend from the bishop. So I took it with the left one, which is considered a mistake. Okay, what would have been better? With the right one. Um, I'm not sure why this is considered better. Maybe because it stops this wing? It seems so. All right. Okay. Yeah, I just took with the left one because I considered I wanted to keep this line strong, so his bishop is basically stuck here, so he cannot move it. And I figured out that by this move, it's interesting because he wants to cut my defense in this part. So I had here like I had to consider if I go here, then he takes from two sides. It's gonna be weak. Um, so I decided to move the rook here in the idea that if he takes my pawn, I take it with the rook, and then he will be forced to move the horse, which was probably would have moved the horse here with my rook here. So the next time he would move the horse, then my rook would be in unprotected basically. So I would have moved forward to threaten either this pawn. He couldn't protect both of them. So I would have won at the very least a pawn or his horse if he wasn't paying attention. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. I didn't count on him forgetting, even though I hoped he's gonna forget about the horse and not protect it. But if he didn't forget about it, there's no problem. I had plenty of ways to gain material here, at least a +1. And indeed, he moves the rook here, which kind of surprises me. He wanted to protect it in case I took it, but he had this pawn for protection and the horse, so I'm unsure. The best move would have been to develop in this position. Okay. Yeah, he moved there. So here I started seeing things, not ghosts. Don't mind me. Um, I started seeing a strategy, a cheeky strategy. Until now, I was thinking maybe I should move with the horse here and then maybe with the horse here or here, but this pawn is protected by the horse, so that's unfortunate because then I would have a shot at the rook, and it's pretty great fork in this position. But yeah, it's protected by the horse. So what can I do? If I move like this, then there is no chance for me to actually get there and protect it. Maybe like this, but it would still, yeah, it would be hard for me to reach there for at least two more moves. And if I move the horse here for the first move, then no chance for me to get there. Um, and since I looked with the horse here, amazingly, the bishop still exists. I remember that I can use this guy. Until now, I just didn't have where to put him into the moves. Like this one's nothing much to do. And here I couldn't come because it was the pawn, but I can come with the bishop here, and I would have a shot at the king. But that's not all, because he can't move the pawn, and the only way to protect that pawn is with the horse. At the very best, if he doesn't seize exactly this move, then the next time I go from the bishop here to here, I'll have a shot at the king. He needs to go one of these ways. Well, this one works too. Then I would have a shot at the horse for free. And if he somehow moves, like if he does anything else, and I get to move here for free, like no, I'll move here for free. He doesn't move, and I move here for free. Hold on a second, sorry. I'm bad at drawing lines. Um, and he moves now. Even if he does move here, he wouldn't be able to do anyway because his check, he is forced to move the king. I get the horse, but if he gets the horse to move beforehand, anywhere except this place, then free shot at rook. So I bring the bishop here, which is considered an accuracy. Interesting. I should have come with a horse here. Okay. Why do you think it's an accuracy from my part? What could happen? He can move the horse. Oh, exactly. Yeah, to protect that area. All right. Yeah, but then I can move. I could just move here, and then if he takes this, I take this. Well, I'm spoiling what's going to happen. He moves the rook here to protect the pawn, which is different from this one. So I decide, yeah, okay. If I can't pin the king through this pawn with the bishop, I can still do it with the pawn, which is funny to me. It is considered a mistake. It's the only mistake I did this game, and I'm really curious why. Ah, I see. Because then he would take this one for free. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay. Uh, yeah, it's interesting because he saw he did a blunder by taking the pawn. Honestly, I really hope that I'm gonna bait him and he takes my pawn. Now, honestly, if he did this, um, I would have just done this because then what's he gonna do? Take with the rook? No, he can't. Um, and then I don't know what to do. Ah, okay, I see. And then you take this. Okay, gotcha. And yeah, it would still be equal, but then he can take this, obviously. Yeah, I see. Um, yeah, it would have been bad if that what has happened. So I guess I was lucky in this position. Mayhaps in the future I will think about this one maybe as a better move. But what happens if he takes the pawn here to bring accuracy? Because I would go here and threaten the pawn, so take this. Okay, fine. Yeah, anyway, I move here. He takes the pawn, which allows me for a fork. He moves the king. I take the bishop. The rook, my bad. I take the rook. He takes my bishop. I take the horse. And then he decides to resign because I have overwhelming advantage here. Um, yeah, it's pretty interesting, honestly. Right now he's blocked, like with his bishop, he's blocked. I would have moved. Um, I think right now it would be his move, and he can't move this one. So maybe just the king he could move or the pawns, And probably I would think to get for this one, then maybe probably this one. I would move it here, and then I would have free reign with the horse. Uh, yeah, he was in a pretty rough situation after that blunder. But honestly, until that blunder, it was a very rough patch. If I'm thinking even here, um, yeah, there are a few ways to protect that, I think, because he's got a +1. So if I go like this is a good way to do an equalizer. If I do like this, where would he move? Okay, he would go like this, I suppose. Okay. I would still choose to take this. I'm just prone to take pieces. Yeah, I think that this game was could have gone either way. Like I didn't feel like I was a lot in control of the game until honestly this moment. And I have to say that like this is considered inaccuracy. Um, I want to go a bit on this angle and see where it leads us. All right, so he's gonna protect it, so it's gonna have me move back, and he's gonna take the pawn. I suppose I'll take it as well. Then he moves forward. What else? I choose to move forward. Protects the bishop, maybe? I'm not sure why that's considered a good move. Ah, so he can probably go go this way as well, maybe? That's sort of some like 3 moves ahead at the very least. This is a game I don't understand anymore. Um, Seems like the next one would be to probably block the position. Yeah, probably here it's just blocking the pawns. Um, since he goes for the pawn, threaten the rook, supposedly, yeah. And then I take it. Rook for rook, still equalizer. Yeah, I think the game is basically saying that could have gone either way. He has a slight advantage, even though we have the same points, probably because he does the first move. Um, Probably here I'll just choose to probably, yeah, move forward to protect the horse. Then he moves it to threaten the bishop. Hmm. I think I would have just gone here. Okay, he takes. Ah, so we exchange a pawn. Uh, and he comes here with the rook. I block the rook from going back. Ah, and from check. Ah, yeah, here it was blocking the rook and going for a check. Cheeky move. Hmm. Okay, and you can see it. Then I check the king probably. Yeah. Okay. He moves. Then what? Do I move with the pawn? Okay. He's trying to pin the king probably. Yeah. Be an interesting pin. Here I go back probably to move it to move pawn, I guess. Uh, why? Okay. Yeah, so then I can take the pawn. Yeah, it's actually a good move. I wouldn't have thought about it. And then take it with the pawn, and then I'm in advantage. He moves in to try and take the other pawn. Move the horse from there. Yeah, anyway, this is just probably would have gone nothing like this. I don't think we had the level to see all these small moves and me especially, I'm still struggling with the end game. But I'm glad this game went well. I saw I think some moves here, but I'm unsure exactly with what to leave from this game, honestly. Yeah, there were inaccuracies and I did a mistake, but they end up paying well. And even if they would have went bad, it would just put me at the same score as before. Um, and until here, it doesn't say that I did mistake, except this one with the queen. Well, what should I've done better? Move the horse here. He would have castle maybe. Um, I just want to see what's the next move for you. What? Ah, okay. It got bugged a bit, I think. Can you tell me about this one? Castle. Then I move the rook here. Hopefully it's not broken again. All right. Then move the horse. Hmm. Yeah, different game. For which moves I don't see exactly why. Well, see you on the next game. Cheers.